Hello and welcome to our third part of the 12 games of Christmas 2015. Today we're going to be looking at the somewhat unseasonal, the Escapist. The Escapist sees players trying to escape correctional facilities which they've been imprisoned in. Team 17 have recently added a Christmas-based DLC, the pleasantly titled Santa's Sweatshop. So without further ado, let's just take a look at the basic game first. Players must escape from various correctional facilities or prisons that they are placed in at the start of the game. The game requires you to make good use of ingenuity in your way to escape. There are various methods the player can use to escape, and in the tutorial here we're going through to basically give you a guide of what happens, how you escape at the very first one. So at the very start in the tutorial it's a simple case of being given the items, opening some vents, getting a sock from this guy, and then beating up the guard and escaping. It's not too hard and it's nice and easy to get out. Later correctional facilities require far more intelligence in what the player has to do to get out. You can do missions and tasks for other players, other characters, and also collect items. The game is surprisingly intelligent and requires a great deal amount of consideration in planning out your escapes to avoid the guards, snipers, and the threat of other inmates in the showers. In the Santa's Sweatshop DLC, the player takes control of an elf, which they then use to try and decorate a Christmas tree before escaping the facility. It's a nice change of pace from the rest of the game and adds in a festive feel. This is also by far one of the nicest games Team 17 has done in a long time, as for the last several years they've just churned out sequels of Worms after Worms. So in the Santa's Sweatshop DLC, the player has to take part in a numerous number of routines throughout the process of the game, the object being that by taking part in the routines you can avoid the guards getting suspicious as you go about your plans to escape. In the Santa Sweatshop DLC you also have the other bonus that you need to decorate a Christmas tree before fleeing the facility. So when you start you must first turn up for roll call, then the player has to attend various meals throughout the day before they get a free period or a time to exercise. Now, you can obviously don't attend the breakfast halls, but obviously if you're not at a location at a set time when required, the guards will come looking for you and be suspicious if you're not in the areas where you're supposed to be. So as you'll wander around, you can even get day jobs to do to try and earn cash, which you can then use to buy items from other prisoners. In the case of the Santa DLC, your character is given the uninviting task of muckraking the shit from reindeers as they go about their day. Players also have to avoid upsetting other prisoners or getting in fights with guards. Whilst you can steal items from other players, other characters, it's also bear in mind that if you fail, you'll get beaten up and sent to the infirmary. The chat icons that appear over the players do add a nice environment and make it feel quite homely when you're wandering around talking to other prisoners. Some prisoners even seem to like their surroundings, whereas others will complain about what's going on in the world outside. Walking around the Santa's tree, this is a nice addition. This is a very festive level. It's worth pointing out that this level currently isn't available on the Xbox 360 version, which has only just been released. But if you have the Steam version, it's a free download anyway, so there's no extra cost for buying this DLC. If you are able to escape the facility, then you can relax and go. This is definitely a worthwhile game and very fun to play, and very intelligent in working out what you're going to do. In the case of this one, you have to be creative as to how you make your decorations for the Christmas tree. and glitter requires tinsel as well as toilet paper to construct. Some of the items can be quite hard to resource in this, and so you have to think about how you're going to get them. Simply beating up somebody to steal it from them isn't necessarily the best course of action. Also, once you start to beat up other prisoners, their attitudes towards you will change, and once that happens, if they see you again, they'll immediately attack you. So the last thing you want to be is standing in roll call and every other prisoner wants to shank you, as that means you'll be spending most of your time in the infirmary. The wintry level even sees the various reindeer of Santa and Santa himself appear. Even the reindeer, according to one of these prisoners, appears to be upset by what's going on. This is a worthwhile addition and a game that's well worth playing. Thanks for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed this wintry take on another festive addition to the series.